institution. It doesn't mean anything today. But we live in a mental institution. 'Cause everything's crazy, crazy, crazy. They're doing away with borders. It's a new world. It's a new day. There is a new world order coming to your town. You better get ready. You better get ready. It's a new day. It's a new way. It's a new day, new day. It's a new way. Hey there, boys and girls. I'm Wild Bill, and I just rode into town. Look out, all you bad guys out there. I'm fixing to blow the whistle on all your evil plans. Yes, it's Saturday night, and you are not going to believe what I got for you right here on Revolution Radio. Welcome to the Samsel Report. Coming to you live from my personal isolation tank right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, all right, let's get this here show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, our government is a cesspool of corruption. Our industrial might is a thing of the past, and the Constitution and Bill of Rights are being trashed by a treasonous, out-of-control government intent on enslaving the American people. I know, it sounds like something right out of the Twilight Zone, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen? You know what? We live in the Twilight Zone. Yes, we do. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance. You are bombarded by the conditioning illusion projected forth by corporate and government-controlled mass media. A world of mind-controlled automatons, unable to think or speak out or stand up for themselves. You're entering a world where everything is just the opposite of what you think it is. You are living in the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we live in the Twilight Zone, ladies and gentlemen. The mainstream media is a weapon being used to control and dumb down the American people, even as they are raped financially, their rights and liberties trampled upon, and America destroyed by design. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And now it's time for an important message, especially for you listeners out there. That's right, because this program on Revolution Radio is listener-supported. And that means you, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this network and you like this here program, then please send us money. Now, we don't want a whole lot of money. We don't want all your grocery money. You don't have to take out a loan. We don't want you to rob a bank. No, no. And blackmail is like totally out of the question. Now, all we want is whatever you can spare. That's it. So please help fund this broadcasting network. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, you need this here network. Revolution Radio is the voice of truth and freedom that you won't hear anywhere else. So please help support informative, entertaining, fabulously original, innovative, cutting-edge, enlightening, mind-expanding, and awe-inspiring programs just like this one. Yes, it's Wild Bill's Headline Roundup, and it is heard only on Revolution Radio. Yes, oh yes. The theme of our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the American sheeple. Oh, yes. And Judge Andrew Napolitano will speak about a nation of sheeple later on in the show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we live in a nation of sheep, ladies and gentlemen. Mindless, uncaring sheep. Sheep that care more about pop culture, body piercing, rap music, sex, Hollywood, sports, partying, and, of course, booze than they do about freedom, liberty, and their God-given rights. Oh, yes, today, in the land of the sheep and the home of the slaves, the mindless minions of mass media mental manipulation are moved more by moronic movies and monotonous music. So there. They got their ears, eyes, mouths, and brains closed, shut, locked up, and shackled by the talking heads and the walking dead. They've been dumbed down and dim-witted. Oh, yes, their brains have been drained, and perhaps that explains how they're led by their noses. As far as that goes, it even exposes why they can't count their toeses. They're thick as a brick and dumb as they please. You know, I've seen greater intellects swinging through the trees. I've seen more aware and concerned creatures floating belly up in a pond. I've seen more considerate and thoughtful beings stuck to flypaper. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen more enlightened entities growing on a pile of dung. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are surrounded, encircled, entrapped, and overwhelmed by vast quantities, by multitudinous hordes of brain-dead sheeple. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, It's true. Yes. Look at them. There they are. See them? Look there. Look at that. I rest my case. But yet there is hope, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, there is hope. So do not despair. For the brain-dead sheeple in all their ignorant glory can still be awakened from their media-induced stupor. Oh, yes, their heads can still be recovered from the dark, dank, and smelly inner recesses of their lower intestinal tracts. Yes, they might still be coaxed to emerge from their colonic prisons. Yes, help is on the way. It's the Samsel Report. Oh, yes, one simple dose of the Samsel Report has been found to instantly cause anal discharge of cranial and facial burial. Oh, man, yes. It is now possible for the sheeple to see the light of day. Yes, they can now breathe deeply the sweet air of truth rather than the noxious fumes of media government propaganda. The Samsel Report, heard weekly, is guaranteed to dislodge head from ass like nothing ever experienced before. How is that possible? Well, the Samsel Report is the only show that contains humor as its primary active ingredient. Oh, yes, humor is dissolved instantly, causing uncontrollable laughter, and that has been actively proven to stimulate mental activity. Sheeple can experience dramatic results within 2 short hours, and the effects of Wild Bill's sarcastic wit can last for days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Samsel Report, and it is heard only on Revolution Radio. And now, buckaroos, do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? Why, it's time for Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. All the news that you won't get from the mainstream media. It's time to saddle up with old Wild Bill, and we gonna round us up a whole mess of them there headline critters. Okay? All right. Are you ready to ride? Are you ready to hit the trail? Well, then, let's go. Let's hit the trail. That's right. Oh, yeehaw! Hi-ho, sweetheart, away! Yes, indeed, boys and girls. Yes, indeed, it's Wild Bill's Headline Roundup, and it begins right now. First off, our first headline. Obama says he will use executive authority to act in 2014 when Congress stands in his way. No, man, you heard right. If Congress continues to stand only for dysfunction and delay, then I'm going to move ahead without them. Oh, man, that's what the president had to say. I'm going to do everything I can without Congress. Oh, whenever Congress refuses to act, Joe and I are going to ask. That's right. They're going, even without Congress. With or without Congress, I'm going to act on my own. Oh, yes, so you better look out. Oh, man, I got a pen and I got a phone and I can use that pen to sign executive orders. That's what the president had to say. Oh, yes. Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I tell you what, we got the clip. We got the clip. So if you don't believe me, take this.
When Congress offers you a bill,
there you go.
Do you promise not to use presidential signage to get your way?
Yes.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go.
Let me just explain for those who are unfamiliar with this issue. We've got a government designed by the founders so that there'd be checks and balances. You don't want a president who's too powerful or a Congress who's too powerful or a courts who's too powerful. Everybody's got their own role. Congress's job is to pass legislation. The president can veto it or he can sign it. But what George Bush has been trying to do as part of his effort to accumulate more power in the presidency is he's been saying, well, I can basically change what Congress passed by attaching a letter saying, I don't agree with this part or I don't agree with that part. I'm going to choose to interpret it this way or that way. That's not part of his power. But this is part of the whole theory of George Bush that he can make laws as he's going along.
You believe that? Are you hearing what this guy is saying here?
I disagree with that. I taught the Constitution for 10 years. I believe in the Constitution and I will obey the Constitution of the United States. We're not going to use signing statements as a way of doing an end run around Congress. All right?
There you go. There you have it, right out of the horse's mouth. Right out of the horse's mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, every word that came out of his mouth was a lie. But then again, every word that comes out of his mouth is always a lie. If this guy was Pinocchio, his nose would stretch to the moon and back. That's right. Oh, yes. If he ever spoke a word of truth, he would melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, that's right. That's right. But there's a way for the American public to compensate for that. We can compensate for that. And it's really very simple. Oh, yes. As a rule of thumb, whatever this guy says, it's safe to assume that he means just the opposite. Okay? So with that as a rule of thumb, it's easy to tell when Obama is lying. Okay? What do you think of that one? What do you think? You stick it in there with the rest of them or what? You want to stick them in there? Okay, all right, get on in there. Go on, get yourself on in there. Get your signing statements and your executive order butts in there. Get. Okay, all right. Okay, so there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, our first headline. We continue on with the headline roundup. You're riding with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse. That's right. You're riding with the Freedom Posse. Our next headline: thousands of fish are dead in the Bada Marina mystery. Oh, yes. It comes out of Sparks, Nevada, Associated Press. State wildlife officials are trying to figure out why all the fish have died in a northern Nevada marina where the stocked fishery has flourished since the man-made lake was created nearly 15 years ago. An estimated 100,000 trout, bass, and catfish have died over the past month in the Sparks Marina. Scientists are at a loss as to what's causing it. They're at a loss. A loss is where they're at. Oh, yes, they say it's probably because of low oxygen levels in the water. Well, you don't have to be Einstein to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you what's in the water. I can tell you what is in the water, and the answer, I can just one word. Just one word, that's right. Fukushima. Remember Fukushima? Can you say Fukushima? So, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And we'll stick it right in the corral with all the rest of them. Get on in there. Joe Public doesn't want to hear about all that stuff, so get on in there. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Samsel Report. This is Wild Bill's headline roundup. And we continue on with our headlines. A Texas man was arrested for giving change to a homeless man. That's right. That's right. You heard right. A Texas man was arrested and he was detained for over an hour for the simple act of giving change to a homeless individual. Oh, yes, Houston police vehicles were parked nearby. And that's when they saw the homeless man approach Greg Snyder's car in a local parking lot. Oh, yes, Snyder, who was talking on the phone in his vehicle at the time, rolled down his window and gave the man 75 cents. Oh, yes. Snyder then drove away, but was immediately pulled over by a squad car. Oh, look out. The police were extremely angry, and they were overly energetic energetic. They were overly energetic, right? During the arrest. Okay? All right, here's a description. Here's what went on, okay? They're screaming, they're yelling, they're telling me to get out of the car. They're telling me to put my hands on the hood. They're like, we saw you downtown, we saw what you did. And I was saying, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I gave a homeless man 75 cents. That's what Snyder said. Those were his words. Oh, yes, they were. Oh, yes. Despite Snyder's attempt to explain his actions, he was handcuffed and forced to stand on the side of the road as drug-sniffing dogs and police officers searched through his car for over an hour. Oh, yes. Eventually, the officers gave in to Snyder's initial story. That's right. They finally said, everything was a misunderstanding and that I was free to go. They were laughing and thought it was funny. That's what Snyder said. Those were his words. My goodness gracious me. How do you like them apples? What do you think of that? Oh, well, hold on. Hold on to your horses. Hold everything. In a related article, cops beat deaf man for not obeying commands that he couldn't hear. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I swear to God, I'll tell you what. Is it me, ladies and gentlemen? Is it just me or what? Huh? Is it me or what? Okay. All right. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? A deaf man was beaten by Oklahoma City police officers for 7 full minutes and had no idea why. The poor guy, Pearl Pearson, that's right, I said Pearl Pearson was his name. A 64-year-old hearing-impaired man was pulled over by Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers. Oh, yes, he was. Oh, look out. Officers demanded that he show them his hands and step out of the car. That's right. Get out of the car with your hands up. You hear me? Get out of the car with your hands up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But Pearson could not hear them. Oh, no. Oh, no. That led to a physical altercation. That's right. That's right. During which Pearson says he wasn't even given the opportunity to show them his ID. On his ID, his car also had a sign in it that is meant to alert others that he is deaf. Okay? It's got a thing. And, well, I tell you what, look out. After the beating, officers placed Pearson under arrest. The beating left him with broken capillaries and 2 great big black eyes. The 2 officers involved in the altercation were identified as Eric Foster and Kelton Hayes. They have been suspended with pay while an investigation into the incident continues. Ladies and gentlemen, oh yes, here is yet another story of the brave men in blue and their never-ending quest for truth, justice, and the American way. To serve and protect, to intimidate and harass. Yes, just another incident in a fast-growing, lengthy list of occurrences intended to drive home the message that they are the law and we are the enemy. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we live in the Twilight Zone. We certainly do. Oh, man. How do you like them apples? What do you think of that? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know what I think? I think let's take that there last one and flush it down the old
porcelain commode, yes. Flush them nasty old cops down the old porcelain commode. There you go. There you have it. There you go. Okay. All right. Our next headline. Hold on, I'm looking for it. It's right here someplace. Okay, no, I did that one. Okay, oh, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? You're not going to believe this. Okay? All right? Okay? In California, girls can use urinals in the boys' restroom. Oh, yes. You heard right, ladies and gentlemen. As of January 1st, students in California public schools have been able to choose whether to use the boys' restroom or the girls' restroom, as well as the girls' locker room or the boys' locker room, based on, get this, based on whether they feel female or male. Not whether they are anatomically female or male. You get the picture? You know what I'm talking about? That's right. You heard right. Governor Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown. Oh, my God. Jerry Brown of California signed a bill that took effect January 1st. It's already in effect, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It tells kids from kindergarten on, I said from kindergarten on, that they should decide what they believe their gender identity is and act accordingly. I can see them talking to a little kindergarten student, little 5-6-year-old. What do you want your gender identity to be? What is it? Me? Is it me? Am I going out of my mind here or what? Huh? So there you have it. There you have it. 12 years old. Okay. All right, check this out. There you are, 12 years old, in the boys' room, standing at a urinal with your tool in your hand, draining the main vein, when suddenly in walks Sally. Oh, yes. Look out. Suddenly you're spraying the wall and the floor and yourself and Sally too, as you hurriedly try to extricate yourself from the situation. That's right. That's right. You bolt out of the room and into the hallway. What, that was a mistake. Everybody's laughing at you now. They're all pointing at the wet spot on your trousers. Man, oh man, what an embarrassing situation. Can you believe that? Suppose you just finished football practice and you and your pals are all butt naked in the showers when Linda Lou comes strolling in all her natural glory, with her eyes bulged out from checking out all the packages. Or on a similar note, what happens after cheerleader practice when all the girls are butt naked in the showers and in strolls Bobby Joe with his member at attention? Instant anatomy lesson, ladies and gentlemen. How now, Mom and Dad? How do you like them apples? But hey, don't worry, nothing can happen because it'll all be recorded on video surveillance cameras. So you have nothing to worry about, right? Am I right? So just keep on moving. There's nothing to see here. Everything is under control. Besides, what are you? Homophobic? Huh? 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 There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy. Oh, well, hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Samsel Report. This is Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. And we continue on. What was that, sweetheart? What did you say there? What? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. We're getting to it. We're getting to it. All right. Our next headline. Our next headline. A first grader was told to stop talking about Bible. That's right. She was told that she couldn't talk about the Bible. Well, let me explain what happened here, okay? All right. The parents of a 6-year-old girl said their daughter was humiliated when a teacher interrupted the child's 1-minute speech and told her to sit down because she's not allowed to talk about the Bible in school. That's what attorneys for the California family allege. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. The incident occurred December 19th inside a first-grade classroom at Helen Hunt Jackson Elementary School in Temecula, California. The previous day, the teacher instructed boys and girls to find something at home that represented a family Christmas tradition. They were supposed to bring the item to school and then share the item in a classroom presentation, sort of like show and tell. Remember show and tell? I do. Do you? Anyway, this was a Christmas show and tell, right? So go home and find something at home that represented a family Christmas tradition. All right. Little Bryn Williams. Little girl, pretty little girl, blue eyes, pretty blonde hair, nice little girl. She decided to bring the Star of Bethlehem that adorned the top of her family's Christmas tree. Okay? She also worked on a 1-minute presentation to explain that her family's tradition is to remember the birth of Jesus at Christmas time. There you go. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that nice? Huh? Our Christmas tradition is to put a star on top of our tree, said the little girl. That's what she said. The star is named the Star of Bethlehem. The 3 kings followed the star to find the baby Jesus, the Savior of the world. Now that's what the little girl said. Okay? Before the child could utter another word, the teacher intervened. Bryn's teacher said, "Stop right there. Stop right there. Go take your seat." That's right. Bryn was not allowed to finish her presentation by reciting the Bible verse John 3:16. She was going to recite John 3:16. See? Understand? You capiche? Capiche? Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, well, what's John 3:16? Well, that's, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." Oh, yes, that's what she was not allowed to say. Okay? But if it's any consolation, Bryn, you can go pee in the boys' bathroom or prance around in all your glory in the boys' shower room. You can dress as a boy if you're a girl, and you can dress as a girl if you're a boy. You can hold hands and kiss each other and display affection from members of your own sex. You can stick pins in your nose and your lips. You can walk around with your underwear hanging out of your trousers. You can cuss out your teachers, and every other word out of your mouth can be the F word. But you can't mention the Bible or our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Is it me, ladies and gentlemen, or do we live in the Twilight Zone? That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we now continue with the headline roundup. Okay, can we do that? Can we do that? Well, I'm okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Sweetheart says, I need to play this here thing for you here. Yes, it's Charlie Danger, private detective. Charlie Danger, defender of the Constitution. And now, Charlie Danger, private detective. Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it today are more cunning, traitorous, and evil than ever. They got big wallets and big ideas and big plans, and they don't like anything or anyone that gets in their way. I ought to know. I'm Charlie Danger. It was a cold, windy day as I sat behind my desk in my cozy little office waiting for a phone to ring that lately hadn't been ringing enough. I sat staring blankly at the wall, listening to the sultry sound of the sax player down the hall practicing for his next weekend's gig. I was trying to decide if I should get up and fix myself yet another drink. Suddenly the door burst open, and a beautiful blonde bombshell in a fancy evening dress that fit just right in just the right places strolled into the room. She stood there in her spiked heels looking utterly gorgeous and at the same time a little bit dangerous. I say dangerous because in her pretty little hand was a great big .38 caliber snub-nosed Smith & Wesson, and the business end was pointing right at my ticker. Yes, there are now 4 Charlie Danger adventures to choose from. Go to hiddenmysteries.com. That's hiddenmysteries.com. Free your mind, and your ass will follow. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and no truer words have ever been spoken. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We already know that Obama is one of the biggest liars in American presidential history. Oh, yes. Truly, he's one of the all-time greats. That's right. That's right. We got a couple more Obama headlines coming up, so you don't want to miss them. Okay? You don't want to miss them. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Oh my God. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this here next headline. Okay? All right. Obama wishes to run for a third term. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Earlier this week, President Obama said in a speech to supporters that he wished to seek an unprecedented third term as commander-in-chief. Oh, yes. He cited his exemplary work at bringing the country back from the brink of economic catastrophe. Oh, oh, my goodness. You got to be kidding me. What was that? What was that? Bringing the country back from the brink of economic catastrophe? Is that what I heard? I can't believe it. The statement is absolutely, utterly insane. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Flanked by a few of his most ardent Democratic supporters in Congress, he announced the urgency to repeal a portion of the Constitution, the portion which forbids the president from seeking a third term. That's right. That's right. Democrats are already pushing forth legislation which would accomplish just that. How do you like them apples? What do you think of that? Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard right. Our worst nightmare could possibly come true. Oh, man, another 4 years of the liar-in-chief. Oh, yes, 4 more years of this un-American socialist commie dirtbag. Why, the mere thought of such a thing is truly horrifying. Another 4 years of Obama. It's even worse. Why, it's even worse. It is worse than the thought of Hillary getting in there. Oh, no. Oh, no, Hillary. Oh, my goodness. It's enough to make you contemplate suicide. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Samsel Report. Now, what? Oh, man, now who left the gate open? Who left the gate open? Let all the sheeple out of there and they run. Look at them. Look at them. Look. Get. You know, it's just, I'm afraid that they're going to hurt themselves. I'm afraid they're going to hurt themselves because they go wandering around and like they don't know, you know, they're in some kind of psychotic stupor, right? And they walk right into things and they don't pay no attention to nothing. And so Man, oh man, I just hope that they don't hurt themselves. You know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. You are listening to the Samsel Report, and it's your own damn fault. That's right. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Man, oh man. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Hello, everybody down there in the dungeon, down there in the chat room down there. I was going to join you in the chat room. I had it all hooked up. I was going to be in the chat room with you guys, but then it slowed the damn computer down. So and this stupid thing didn't want to. So, okay. Anyway, I would be down there, though, and join you one of these days. Okay, down there in the chat room. Okay. And welcome to all my faithful fans out there, out in Radio Land. Okay. All right. So, let me see here. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. You're right with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse. That's right. You're riding with the Freedom Posse right here on the Samsel Report. Okay? All right?
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, be quiet. Quiet down in there. This guy, I tell you what, he lives next door, and all he does is yell all the time. Okay? All right. Let's take a look in the corral. What do you say we take a look in the corral and see what's going on in there? Well, we got some headlines, and we get some headlines in there. Look. Yeah, look at them all. We got headlines in there. We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's look over on the other side, see what we got going on the other side over there. Oh, yeah, well, there's all the politicians, the Washington, D.C. crowd. There's all the corporate heads, you know, the great big international corporate, and then all the bankers. The bankers are in there, and they're all just having a real good time in there together. They have a good time in there together. So, oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's nothing. It's, you know, I just, you know. You're right with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse. That's right. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, we got all kinds of headlines coming up, ladies and gentlemen. All kinds of headlines. I'm going to save them for the second hour, though. I'm going to hold on to them until the second hour, okay? Because I can do that, all right? Okay? You know, you never know what's going to happen on the Samsel Report. Now, hold on there a minute, Stray Cat. We've got Wild Bill. Hello? On the line. Hello? Hello? Yeah? Yeah, this here's Wild Bill calling into the program here tonight. Well, that's nice. Hello. I was just moseying on by, listening to the radio. You like the show? You like the program? I said to myself, now, isn't it time for the headline roundup? That's right. That's right. It's time for the headline roundup. Except that we've been having the headline roundup now for the past hour. And we're closing in on break time. And that's going to happen at any point now. That's what's going to happen. Okay? And you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.